I'm Alan DeBevoise, CEO and founder of Machinima. We are at the Always On conference, and our company just won the number one company on the Always On Power 100, I think it was.
Tell me a little bit about when you started the company, what were your hopes and what were your exit strategies?
Right. Well, when we started the company, I thought that there was an opportunity to create kind of a new popular cultural brand, like an MTV for gamers and for guys that were interested in interactive entertainment and certain types of content that gamers love. And that was really the beginning of what we were thinking about. And so we made this parallel that the kind of cable world had created this form of music video that then led to MTV being a brand that was around entertainment lifestyle. And then we thought, okay, that in the broadband world, there was an opportunity with gaming videos to create an entertainment lifestyle brand that was global and multi-platform.
So I understand that you're interested in other forms of content besides games.
Yeah. So essentially, we think about it as a global entertainment programming brand that is deeply rooted in gaming and the gaming idea. So a lot of the content is about gaming, and then there's things that are around what the other aspects of what a gamer may really love, right? So, they watch, shows like Walking Dead and Game of Thrones and Homeland, things like that on television. In movie theaters, it'd be movies like Dark Knight and Prometheus and 300 and that kind of content. Technology, obviously, and clearly video games like Call of Duty and Halo and Assassin's Creed, etc. So that really is kind of what I would call almost like the Comic-Con fanboy, right? But from a gamer perspective, and that's kind of what we think the audience is really resonates with our audience.
So are you profitable?
No, we're almost profitable. That's like our big goal for 2013 is really to drive the EBITDA margins, the profit margins, and we're looking at adding a second revenue stream and just really optimizing the business.
So what is your initial revenue stream? Do people subscribe to it?
No, it's most of it's been advertising based, so it's traditional advertising on online video. We do sometimes branded integrations, things like that. And recently, we've also been doing kind of CPA, cost per acquisition type of campaigns in the kind of free to play game world. But that's really it's mostly ad based, and we're going to try to get at least a second revenue stream going in the next year.
Great. So you're based here in Los Angeles,
Yes.
and how many people work for you?
Machinima is based here in Los Angeles, and we have about 200 people in the company.
200 people.
Yeah, it's
And
really
you're
grown.
here in Hollywood?
West Hollywood area. Yeah.
So do you see the company growing to be a major studio, like an EA, or?
No, we really think of ourselves more like a network, more like a television network. We think of ourselves as part of the progression that we've seen in video, where you had broadcast networks initially, and then you had cable networks, and now you're seeing these video networks emerge, like us and Vivo and Hulu, Netflix, etc. They're video-oriented brands that really come off the network, off of the internet. And so that's why we call it the kind of third wave of video programming brands. So it's much more closer to the kind of business and perspective that, say, a Fox or an ABC or an AMC has, but embracing some of the ideas of the internet, like user-generated content. We're on multiple platforms, and we're also global from the outset.
Okay. So you seem to be closely tied to YouTube.
Yes.
Would you say that you're on other mediums as well?
Yeah, so far we've been mostly focused on YouTube. I mean, we have an iPad application and an iPhone application. We're going to start really focusing on scaling some of those next year. But really, we've really focused almost our entire effort on YouTube as a platform to really get kind of global scale. And even through YouTube, we do almost 1 billion video views per month in mobile, and that's really most of it is through YouTube that shows up on the Android, iOS devices.
So do you think if you struck out on your own, you'd be able to drive more of the ad revenue versus I'm sure that YouTube had to take some cut?
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much that because if you're on other platforms, you have some revenue sharing with other platforms. It's just really, are some of the audiences different, and that's one of the things that we really explore is the audience for, is the audience for iTunes different than the audience for YouTube, those kinds of things. So that's one of the things that I think we get some learnings around that.
So you're leveraging your audience into other areas like comedy or
We look at, I think, what the gamer really cares about. One of the areas we're really focused on is episodic narrative around, initially around gaming titles, like Mortal Kombat's a series, there's a series right now, a live action series based on the game Halo on our channels right now. And then we've also done some shows, like we won Best Drama for a science fiction show called Receiver. And so we're doing more of that kind of premium episodic model, looking at brands like AMC and HBO and Showtime, how recently they've really, created really great premium programming and saying, how do we do, what's our version of that?
so do you ever foresee the day when you'll create your own network?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We already do some of that, and we'll do more. But as a network, we think about what's the best content out there. And if we're creating it, or someone else is creating it, or it's coming from a studio, we're kind of agnostic to that. We have to deliver the best programming for our audience. And Mortal Kombat came from Warner Brothers as an example, and yet Receiver came from a really brilliant director that brought us the project through CAA, and we did it that way, and had a sponsor really put up the production dollars. So it really depends on the situation. We're really driven by what's a good project.
So if one of the major networks were to approach you about acquiring your network, would you be open to being bought out?
Well, I mean, at some point we would listen to any kind of offer, but we still have a long ways to go. We're really excited about what we're doing, and we think we would be part of that ecosystem, along with others like the DeBevoise of the world. I think they'll be part of these programming brands that I think the next generation won't even differentiate between a broadcast network and a cable network and a network like Machinima or Vivo. I think it'll all be, these are brands that show up on all my devices, and I engage with them whenever I want to engage with them.
Are you doing one for baseball?
We are doing some things with them. We're looking at like how that can help us, and Twitter, and we're launching an Xbox application actually soon here, and so we're looking at the other platforms as well.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, I hope I want to keep doing what I'm doing. I think that we become hopefully a major and global entertainment brand that has the entire spectrum from user-generated content and gaming all the way up to user and professional content that might be super premium, if you will. That we've got some deep franchises like AMC has with Walking Dead or Mad Men, or obviously Showtime with Homeland and Dexter, things like that. That's the kind of bigger franchises that we want to look at. But also a lot of issues, a lot of opportunities in gaming itself, live streaming, competitions, and just general a paradigm shift that's happening in gaming, where we're going to see the rise more and more of kind of free-to-play, core-oriented games. And what I really look forward to is the opportunity to see episodic narrative and episodic gaming kind of blend into a new form. Where, for example, let's say you were watching the end of Walking Dead last season, and the Horde shows up on the farm, then you could actually potentially play that level right then. You wouldn't have to enjoy the series, but it might be an incremental thing. But it would be right there on the spot, rather than 6 months later it shows up as a game on Facebook somewhere else, right? In other words, connect these narratives to these gaming experiences, and I think we'll see that happen. Yeah. Well, good. Greg, thank you.